皆さん、こんにちは。ニューヨーク英会話のリブマン・ブレディと申します。よろしくお願いします。When I'm not teaching English, I like in my free time to do a little bit of baking. My dad's a baker. When I was a kid, I grew up in a bakery. So that's something that kind of helps me to kind of feel kind of peace, is a baking. So today, what we're going to be doing is just showing you a technique. Okay, we're not really going to show you a recipe today. Tomorrow morning, my family and I were going to eat bagels, and I just wanted to show you the kneading technique. Okay, that's what I want to show you today, and it's a fundamental of baking, especially if you do it by hand, the kneading process. So I just wanted to show you that, and we'll take a few moments to get you started with that. So earlier in the day, I started my sponge for this dough here. And like I said, we're not getting into recipes today, just technique. But this is my sponge. As you can see, it's a really loose one. And then I got the remainder of my ingredients here: my flour, salt, sugar, malt, and yeast. And one of the things that you're going to need to do this well is start with a little plastic scraper. And I'm going to just add this flour mixture to my sponge here. Let's get all that goodness in there. Then the first thing I like to do is to start incorporating this flour into the sponge. The sponge is really wet, right? So this flour is gonna have to get incorporated into it. It's gonna come a point where this sponge is not gonna accept any more of this flour. But according to our recipe, maybe I think we have the good balance here. So we're just getting some incorporating here done, distributing the ingredients throughout the dough. As you can see, it's starting to come together. There's still some wet spots here, but it's starting to come together. Okay, we've been incorporating now for maybe about close to a minute now. You can take a look. It's still kind of shaggy here. You can still see powder. Some of the flour falling off here. My bowl, the bottom of my bowl looks like this. My dough looks like this. So we're going to keep incorporating here until everything starts to come together, cling together. At this point, it may be a good time to clean anything off your finger that's sticking, because we want all of that to be inside of our dough. When we get done with this dough, this is a bagel dough, your hands should be fairly clean from dough. It shouldn't be, it's not really, it's kind of a dry dough. Okay, working that in. Scrape down the bottom. Scraper, plastic scraper. Scraper for my dad, all the way from the US. Scraping all those bits down at the bottom. Get those in. Okay, that's all in the bottom. We're going to put that here in the dough. As you can see, it's still a bit dry, but once we start kneading, it'll all start coming together. So I'm going to start with my first knead here. What I like to do is to start incorporating this here a bit more. Okay. You can probably start seeing now that it's starting to pick up any of those bits that are flying out. I like to bring that together. You can use the dough itself to kind of scoop some of that stuff up. You can see in the middle it's still kind of dry. The outsides are a little bit more wet, so they're able to bring some of those loose ends in here. Okay, once it's got kind of a cohesive unit here, this is where I'm going to show you the technique that I use. There's many ways you can do this, but this is the way I've been doing it for a few years. If I think of this mound as a clock face, right? This would be the 12 o'clock position. This would be the 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock positions. Okay? 12, 3, 6, 9. What I like to generally do is get this in kind of a flattened area, flattened way. Okay, so everything's kind of coming together here. You can still see that the dough is kind of wet here a little bit, not too wet, not tacky at all, but it has some dampness to it. And we have these dry bits here. So what I like to do, the first thing that, the first kind of technique I want to show is, I think of this, looking from my point of view, I think of this as a clock face. This would be the 12 o'clock position, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock.
パンを時計だと思ってください。
Okay.
上が12時、36時、9時。
3, 6, 9.
パンの練り方です。
And then in the middle part here is where you have your hands that are going to be moving around the hari. Okay? So what I like to do is take 12 o'clock position and put it right in the middle.
12時を真ん中に持ってくる感じで。
Press down. Rotate. Once again, 12 o'clock to the middle. Push down. Again, rotate. 12 o'clock. Push down. Rotate. 12 o'clock. Push down. And just get a rhythm going there. Rotate. 12 o'clock. Push. Push. Rotate. 12 to the middle. Push down. Rotate. 12 to the middle. Push down. Rotate. 12 to the middle. Push down. Just get a nice rhythm going. With this dough, for the first 8 minutes, I like to be moving at a fairly quick pace. This speed.
練るのは8分間です。最初はスピードを持ってこの肩から力を入れる感じで練っていきます。
This is a good workout. So if you had a long day, it's a good way to get some of your frustration out. But I never have any frustration, so it's okay.
特にストレスはないですけど、ストレス発散にバッチリです。
If I did have stress. Okay, so I've been kneading now for about 3 minutes. It's starting to come together very well. It's not smooth, but it came together pretty well. So the technique is that we're using the palm of your hand, push down, and you can use your body weight. If you want to do it for a while, you're going to be able to do it for a while. Use your body weight. If you just use your muscle weight, you will get your muscles, you're going to get tired. So keep it close to your body, kind of close to your power zone, and just use your body weight. Now, palm of your hand, push down, down, and a little bit out. Okay, so we got our seams on the bottom. Get everything tucked in. Then give it a little tappy tap. That's it. Okay. See you next time. Bye bye.